Yes, hello, you're watching your Armoury TV. It's me, the Silva One again, filling in for Gumza and everyone else because I'm riding solo today. So let's have a review of the Arsenal 2, Fulham 1 game. Let's hit the intro and let's get into it. Yes, and welcome. This is the Arsenal 2, Fulham 1 review. Sorry, review. Bit late, apologies. We've all been very busy this weekend, bank holiday weekend. You know how it is. But we're here, I'm here, and we're going to talk about the game. So let's get into it. So the first half, it's a bit slow. Um, not really much to talk about. A couple of chances. There was a chance for Saka that maybe he should have buried. We'll talk about Saka in a while in a bit because there's something I do want to talk about him. Um, the second half, I do not know what Gabriel was doing. Mitrovic was trying to cause all sorts of problems throughout the game. We all know about Mitrovic. We know what he's about, and I think maybe he just got a little bit shaky, and I don't know. You can't really explain it. And then obviously Mitrovic pitches the ball, slots it home, easy 1-0 Fulham. Um, I think most of us knew. I know in the preview I went on and said 3-0, but I did say as well that Fulham offer a different kind of threat, especially going forward. They're quite quick going forward as well, and obviously, like I said, Mitrovic is a handful, and he's the kind of player that will get in defenders' head. So the game went on. We got back into it. The fans, by the way, the fans have got to get a lot of credit. I've never seen, I've never seen so many fans still at the stadium after the final whistle. How often have we seen fans leaving early because they don't want to get on a packed train or whatever stupid reason? And I've always said that when I've gone, I've never gone early, but it was just so nice to see. Um, but yeah, Odegaard, what a player! Now, I've been watching streams, I've been watching some watch-alongs back. People are moaning about this guy, Odegaard. 3 goals in his last 3 games. Yes, it was a lucky deflection. It was still on target, and you need a bit of luck sometimes. We got that equaliser, and that lifted the crowd even more. Odegaard giving it the old, come on, come on, come on. That's what you want to see from your captain. And you're starting to see him lead. There's a lot of people that question about his leadership, even though he was Norway captain from the age of 19. And what is he now? What, 23, 24? And no, I've seen people make comparisons, Kevin De Bruyne. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far, but I can understand why people do. Um, he just gives you something, where he tends to drift off towards the right, and that's where Saka is. Saka, he's been a bit under par as of late. But like I said, I'll go on to Saka in a minute. Um, and then the goal, Gabriel, as the title says, from zero to hero, and that's what you want. That is what you want. Saliba did it against Leicester. Didn't score in that game, but he scored in the next game, a cracking goal, of course. But he was right in there, right place, right time, and just smashes it in. And the Emirates absolutely erupts. And look, you hear about all this over celebration talk. For example, Richard Keys. Yeah, Richard Keys. Who are you to talk anyway, you sexist pig? But look, the fact that we went 1-0 down, if that was last season, everybody knows Arsenal ain't winning that game. Arsenal are not winning that game. The fact that we had the character to fight back against a Fulham team, by the way, and if I was a Fulham fan, because he kept saying, "Oh, it's only Fulham, it's only Fulham, it's only Fulham," everybody else saying it's only Fulham. This is the same Fulham team. These Fulham fans should feel disrespected because they went to Anfield. They took the lead. They didn't go to Anfield, but they played Liverpool. They took the lead once or twice. I don't know. They definitely took the lead, but they held them in the end. Yeah, Liverpool came back. They held them to a 2-2 draw. They held them. They went to the West London derby. The first West London derby against Brentford in the Premier League. They were 2-0 up. Then they went 2-2. had the character to score a late winner. Says a lot about the team. And then, um, they come to us. They took the lead. They tried their best to stay in the game. They just couldn't handle us. They just couldn't handle it. So there's a lot of disrespect there for Fulham as well. I feel from Richard Keys, and you know, you see Tottenham yesterday when they scored that second goal, the second goal against Forest, and the way their fans and their players reacted. No one talks about it then. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to talk about the Spurs. Look, what is the point? What is the point of football if you're not going to celebrate moments like that? We scored a late winner. Why aren't the fans and players going to enjoy that? It just doesn't make any sense. Big up, Mr. B. Nice to see you here. I want to talk Saka too. Okay, well, what do you want to talk? What do you want? Because I think he's as much as we did miss Party. I think the main position for us is covering that area. But I'm getting a bit concerned with Saka. As good as we all know he is, he's just looking a bit burnt out for me. And if he was a little bit sharper, he would have scored that goal early on as well. So I would like to see us get that winger in to 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 push Saka, not only to push him, but to give him the rest as well, because the guy is still only a kid, and we are in danger, serious danger of looking at another Jack Wilshere situation with Saka, and we need to be very careful with him, and we need to manage him properly. That is where I worry about Saka. Um, he can come up in clutch moments. You saw it against Crystal Palace, but even then, he wasn't even at his best. So, I honestly think we do need to address that area in particular. That you could say looking lazy or burning out. I think it's burnout. You think remember as well. It's been a short preseason. He played in most of those preseason games as well. So as good as he is, as an important player that he can be for us, he just needs to. He played a full 90 minutes again, which I thought was really, really risky, especially with Villa coming up midweek, and he's going to feature against Villa one way or the other. And you got Smith Rowe that's just sitting there who can come on the left, and then Martinelli can shift over on the right. So I don't understand what the problem is there, but maybe we are looking at a winger. Maybe Smith Rowe is not where Arteta doesn't want to play him on the wings. He wants to have him as a backup as Odegaard. I don't know. Only Arteta knows. But looking from where I'm sitting, I honestly think we do need two more signings. We need three more signings, but let's be realistic. We're probably only going to get one. For me, it has to be the cover for Party. As much as El Neni is lovable, I love the guy. He's not going to be that consistent player. For Party's going to miss a handful of games. He's always going to. We know that. So that needs addressing first. Then I would say the winger situation, and we still think we need that striker. We need another striker because as much as I like Nketiah, he's very similar to Gabriel Jesus. So we need that different kind of, build of striker, the big target man in the middle, because there's going to be games that, Nketiah and Jesus are not going to be able to do what they can do. And we're going to need that big target man top. Good afternoon, Jason. I think he's only looking that way as we're overloading the other side of the pitch. Might look different with Tomiyasu, right? But that could be a possibility. Could be a good possibility. Tomiyasu, by the way, when he came on and he covered at left back, he looked very, very good, very strong. I wouldn't start him just yet. Maybe bring him on again into his natural position against Villa midweek. But excuse me, that's for the Villa preview. Aguna Gumsbury is just replying to Mr. P, still looking better than Sancho and Rashford. Enough said. Although Sancho, to be fair to him, is he's starting to look a bit of a player now. I've always been critical of Sancho, but he's starting to look a bit of a player these days, especially under Eric Ten Hag. But I'm not going to talk about Man United, and we've got them coming up. So the less let's say about Man United, the better at the minute. But I'll tell you what, let's go into some player ratings because it's not going to be a long stream. It's just me, and you don't want to hear me waffle on for any longer than I need to. So we'll start with the goalkeeper. Give us your ratings as we go along as well. So with Ramsdale, Um, he had a few nervy moments. There was that one where he just blasted at Mitrovic's head, which I did find amusing. I can't lie. But made some very, very good saves, especially towards the end. Very important saves. So I would probably give him. I'll give him. I think an 8 solid. I'll give him an 8. At right back, Ben White. Again, I think he showed some good energy down there, down that right hand side. Again, I see people laying into him. I don't know. People just seem to not like Ben White. But I like what I've seen. Um, you don't fix what's not broken. He's doing all right down that side. And I would probably give Ben White, yeah, in a good game, 7. Saliba, I mean, the more we talk about this guy, he's just mustard, and he's just mustard. Um, didn't do nothing wrong. He created the chance for Gabriel to get the late winner. So with that, another solid performance, an assist to his name. You got to give him an. I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give him a 9. When he was dealing with Mitrovic, he dealt with him. Gabriel. You could probably give him anything. Look, he I always have a problem with Gabriel, and he always has these moments, and I saw it coming. I did see it coming. I mentioned it before in the preview. I think I did anyway. That he scares the living daylights out of me, and he showed me why. But he put his head down. He put his head down. Right, okay. I'm gonna make things right, and he got the goal, and that's all we can ask for. He didn't make no more mistakes after that. I think there was one more shaky moment, and that was it. So listen, he probably would have got about a 4 if he hadn't scored that goal, but because of how big the goal was, he gets a big bump up, and I'm going to give him a 6.5 to 7. I don't know. Would you agree with that? And then before we go into the midfield, we had Tierney at left back. And I'm not going to be harsh on him. I've seen people have been harsh on him, but look, that was his first start of the season from injury. I don't think he had a really bad game. I see he tried to do the whole Zinchenko thing. I definitely saw that. Um, do you know what? I think that we at left back we're pretty solid. Although at this stage of the season and where we are, and the way I've seen Zinchenko play. And by the way, a word on Zinchenko, that guy, I love him. I love him. You see him run it. He's supposed to be injured. He come flying onto the pitch when we scored that goal. And there was I think there was like a Zinchenko cabinet someone made up online, and this passion is I tell you what. No, Zinchenko wasn't even playing, but I'll give him a 10. But Tierney, I'll give him a 6. Pretty average. Gums has gone for a 7 or 8 for Ramsdale. I think he was important in the game, so that's fair. What did I say? Did I say 7, 8 himself? Um, we won't go. He's gone on to Odegaard, but I won't go on to him just yet. We'll go on to El Neni. Um, I don't think he done anything too wrong, but anything too good. I think he just well, El Neni done what he had to do for me. I would give him a 6. I'll give him a 6. I can't really talk too much about him because I didn't really notice him there, to be honest with you. So for a player to not be noticed, he must be doing something well, not wrong and not bad. So and we won, so we'll give him a 6. Um, let's go on to Xhaka again. Xhaka, he's proven some of the doubt was wrong. Um, he's I'm liking we're seeing more of the Swiss Xhaka. We're seeing more of the Mönchengladbach Xhaka. I know towards the later in the game he kind of covered more to the left back position when Tierney got subbed off, but I just like how he's trying to create chances. Coming into the box at the edge of the box. There was a couple of passes that were questionable, I must admit, but I do like what I'm seeing from him. I'm going to give him a 6. I'm not going to give him anything higher than that. I think he done what he needs to do. But nothing spectacular, but nothing really, really poor. On to, before we move on, because we know how Gumza feels on Xhaka. Xhaka is dead food man. He's better, but still far for standard. Not great in tight areas in the final third. Yeah, and I think that Xhaka, he splits opinion again. Some people see the good in him, some people see the bad in him. And I think that's always going to be the case with Granit Xhaka, to be fair to him. So on to Odegaard. I can only go with what Gumza says here. 9 and man of the match, 100%. And man of the match for the last 2 games now for me. We're starting to see we're starting to see the Odegaard that we were wanting to see when we signed him, firstly on loan. Um, he just makes things happen, and um, he's showing that leadership qualities, and that's all we can ask from him. Um, he's just he's just so. I mean, on the ball, he knows how to pick a pass. Um, and yeah, there's no there's nothing else I can say more really. I just love the guy. Again, I don't know why people lay into him. I don't know what it is. Um, I don't know. It's probably an agenda thing when it comes to Arteta. Because Arteta signing, blah blah blah. Who knows? But I ain't going to get into that. On to Saka, Mr. B, Man United agenda. Obviously gone for 2. Look, I when I watch Saka, sorry, he he does try and make things happen, but he just looks too burnt out for me. Definitely, probably not our best player on the pitch on Saturday. Um, I'd probably give him. I don't think he played overly bad. He tried to make things happen. I don't know what it is with him, and I am getting concerned with him. But I'll give him 5 or 6, something like that. Yes, Adam J, welcome. Defo agenda against Odegaard. He's a good footballer. He really is. He is. I don't understand what the agenda is either, my friend. But look, each to their own, I guess. Thank you, Burnout. Well, I've already touched on that, Mr. B. Um, Martinelli as well for me on the left hand side. Again, not one of his best games. Definitely not one of his worst games. Well, no, saying that, there were times that he did cut in really, really well on that left side. Um, but for me, that's what he really do. He really done in the game. He came off as well. So I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh on Martinelli because he did try and make things happen, but it definitely wasn't one of his best games. But I would definitely give him a 6.5 for Martinelli. And Jesus, again, look, he just works. He just works. He's all over the pitch. Um, he doesn't have to score goals. He doesn't have to score goals. Um, and that's what we love about him. It's the energy that this guy shows, and he always, since he's joined the club, I don't think he's put a less than an 8 performance, an 8, maybe a 7. So well, I'm going to give him a 7.5. I would like to have seen him involved a bit more with the goals, but it was that kind of game. The defense were obviously targeting, and he's going to be a target for many defenders this season. Um, but the way he just dribbles past players, tries to create space for his teammates and himself, I mean, the guy is just mustard again. Him and Saliba have got this fan. They've got this fan, and Zinchenko have got this fan base rocking, and you love to see it. Mr. B's giving Martinelli a 5. Adam says Martinelli was a kind of selfish that the fact his shot was going top bins. Oh yeah, yeah, another one you're talking about now. Mr. B's giving Aziz a 7, which I think is quite generous for Mr. B. Gonna be a great signing, yeah, for sure, for sure. We've got a great sign in our hands there, and his work rate second to none, second to none. Right, got to try out my brains now. This substitution. Nketiah, when he came on, he showed some great energy. Still, obviously, needs to work on his finishing a bit more. Um, but the thing is, he's not getting the games that he was getting towards the end of last season. There was one that he should really have tucked away. But listen, if it wasn't for Eddie Nketiah and the energy levels that he brought onto that pitch that actually went us to win the game, I think deserves a high score. And do you know what? Actually, Adam, I'm with you on this one. He did change the game. He changed the game that much, the tempo of the game. I mean, I think 8's probably a little high. No, do you know what? No, I'll give him a 7 just because of the energy. He weren't on for like a long amount of time, but for the time that he was on, and for the importance of the part that he played in coming back in that game. Yeah, do you know what? No, do you know what? I'll give him an 8. I'll give him an 8. Um, Adam says people need to give Xhaka a new chance here. He's not playing deep. He's now box to box. Yeah, exactly. He is, and that's what I mean. We're starting to see that Xhaka that we've seen. I was going to touch on this actually. I'm glad you brought that up, Adam. And Nketiah even looks bigger and stronger. He's been working hard. He has been working hard, and what's great as well, he seems to have a great relationship with Gabriel Jesus. Now can they do talk to each other a lot in training. Now can they do a lot together. He does look a lot bigger and stronger compared to the end of last season. I don't know what he's been doing, but yeah. Listen, let it continue. He's only going to get better, and he's only going to get more well, hopefully more clinical in front of goal. But other subs, I can't remember now. Someone help me. My mind's gone blank. Tomiyasu, yeah, I thought he looked solid, covering that left back. Solid, just looks solid. Some great tackles in there. And I love the guy, but look, he wasn't on too long, so I'll give him a 6. But it's great to see Tomiyasu back on the pitch. Fan favourite, love the guy. And everyone else all kind of came on a little bit late, so I won't go to him. Arteta, I don't want to be critical on him. I think it was more of the players. I think he set the team up the best he could. But obviously, with Partey out and Zinchenko out just like that, it's a bit. It was a bit. It was one of those ones. But he made that change. That change that Nketiah changed the game. So you got to give him credit for that. I'm going to give Arteta a 7. Definitely give Arteta a 7. And the fans, I'm going to give a whopping 10. The fans were magnificent. And you hear pundits now, they've never heard the Emirates like it. Even Alan Smith knows who the Ashburton Army is. So, look, credit to the fans that are there at the game. But loud. I mean, obviously we've heard the Emirates loud at times, but this season it's just special. Like, home or away, you're hearing them. And just because we're excited, and we've got every right to be excited. A few more comments before I do wrap up. Goon Gumza, solid, I agree, but there are so many players who will play this role better for us. So obviously on the Xhaka situation, he's going to stand by his feelings towards Xhaka, and I can't blame people for feeling the way they do for Xhaka. At the end of the day, I can't. Eddie is my guy. Him and Saka just need a goal and watch them fly. And I think you're right there. I really do. I think it's amazing what a goal can do to a young man's confidence. And these I mean, they're boys. They're boys. Once they get that goal, and I think they will fly. And Adam agrees that Arteta's subs were absolutely spot on. And yeah, they were. They were. And look, he's another young guy. Yeah, for his role as a manager, who's learning, and he's learning from his mistakes, and that's all we can ask for. Look, life is good right now as an Arsenal fan, and I'm not going to this, I'm not trying to get overboard, right? But the old cliche is you can only be what's in front of you. And look, it's not only just Crystal Palace. We saw Crystal Palace go to their Etihad, and they were 2-0 down against them. But obviously, the quality of City, they dealt with them. They held Liverpool at Anfield. Yeah, they're not mugs. They're not mugs. They're always going to be a hard team to beat, home and away. All right, we know that. Bournemouth, that's another story, right? Leicester, look, I know they're bottom of the league, but they've still got players there that can hurt you. They've still got players. And look, this is the Premier League. Yeah, the Premier League has shown already that anything can happen, and it always has done, and it always will. Look, we go on to Villa next. We've got Villa on Wednesday. Now, Villa need the points big time. They need the points. And so I think Steven Gerrard is under a lot of pressure for the players that they've signed this season, and they've signed some really good players. They should be doing better than what they've been doing at the moment. I think that game could be as tougher than we think it can be. It will be, and then obviously got Man United after that. But look, we're going to take it game by game. I'm not going to go on to them because obviously that's for a different stream. That's for the preview. Hopefully that'll come out tomorrow at some point. But just a few more comments. Adam J need to slap up Villa so Joe I can get the sack. I think quite a few people will enjoy seeing that. Jason, the new mentality of this team is key. Difference to last season. Heads aren't dropping, and that is it right there. And look, I'll talk about the teams that we've beaten. These 4 victories came in different manners, completely different manners. And that is why we have got every right to feel as excited and happy as we are. We 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 went to Paris, and no one gave us a chance. No, non-Gunners, sorry. We're all ready for they get their memes ready. They thought we were going to lose that game. The Crystal Palace fans were going in that game confident as anything. I've seen it, and look, they had most of the possession, most of the chances, but we withstood that. We absorbed all that pressure, and we hit them. Leicester, we we did come out the gates quite early. We played well. We played some good football. But what impressed me about the Leicester win is the fact that when they scored twice, so when it went 2-1, we went and replied 3-1. When it went 3-2, we went and replied straight away 4-2. The mentality is different. We've never seen that in recent years. Then you had the Bournemouth game where, well, look, poor Bournemouth. I mean, they never had a chance even before they got on the pitch. Um, and we literally controlled that game. Probably a bit respectful, but we didn't usually leave first gear. So, and then that game where we come up with a different kind of team in Fulham with speed and presence. You got the speed of the wingers, and you got the presence of the striker and Mitrovic. Who's going to hassle and harry is going to cause you problems. And we dealt with that. We were 1-0 down as well. And we only managed to do that once last season, the whole of last season. So look, the mentality has definitely changed for me. What I will say is what I would like to see, but not anytime soon, of course, because I'm enjoying this run, is when we lose a game, we just lose one game. We go out the next game, all guns blazing, saying, we may have lost that game, but we're not that team anymore. We're not going to go on another 3-game defeat, like losing run. We ain't doing that no more. So that's what I want to see. Bit of a dead food, very naive. I expect a walk in the park. That's in the Premier League. I can never say that. It should be. It's at the Emirates. It's under the lights. The atmosphere is going to be buzzing, but you can never tell. And like I said, Gerald's under a lot of pressure, and the players should feel the pressure as well. So they're going to want to go out there and perform for him. You'd think anyway. And they've got some quality players. They do have some quality players at the end of the day. But again, I'll save that for the preview. But anyway, this has been the Fulham review. Give us your thoughts on the game if you're rewatching this. Give us your player ratings and that, and then you can also let us know what you think about going into the Villa game on Wednesday night. I do expect the preview will be back tomorrow. I believe James will be on hand to do that. But I've been the Silva One. I've got plenty to do. Still bank holiday Monday, and I'll catch you guys very soon. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you very soon.